This was probably one of my worst losses. She knocked me out in the first 30 seconds. And after that day, I told myself, I'm never doing Taekwondo ever again. My name is Subhana Ahmed. I am a third-degree black belt and the first hijabi Muslim woman on the USA Taekwondo national team.
First of all, I want to say, Alhamdulillah, God gave me everything. Alhamdulillah. I know you got this, you don't like this. Alhamdulillah.
I've been doing Taekwondo for as long as I can remember. My dad put me and my 4 sisters in Taekwondo when I was 5 years old. He wanted us to be in a sport where we're able to be modest, wear modest clothing, as well as follow the sunnah and learn self-defense. My parents decided to homeschool me and my sisters so we could just focus completely on training. We would train 6 hours a day, like 2 hours morning, 2 hours afternoon, 2 hours evening, and that was really our life. You appreciate the success when you go through the difficulty. You appreciate the success because of the journey. Years later, I realized like I'm so grateful for the work it made me put into the sport and into myself. It's far more than athleticism. It's far more than learning how to kick someone in the face and score. It's mental toughness. It's mental fortitude to be able to stand in a ring and, you know, it's not you versus them, it's you versus you. In Taekwondo, there's 2 aspects. There's traditional Taekwondo, where there's pumse, you perform forms, you do nunchucks, you do performances. The other side is Olympic sparring. Olympic sparring is what I have pursued. My dad still pushed us. I think he saw the fighting spirit within us more. I wanted to be the first Muslim woman on the USA National Team. That was my goal at 11, 10 years old. I initially got my black belt when I was 12 years old, after 6 years of training. A black belt is earned through certain requirements, memorizing certain forms, breaking certain boards, but it's not just that, it is a way of life. There's tenets in Taekwondo: integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. Those are all things the black belt represents. The hijab is a reminder that I am Muslim and I need to carry myself in a certain way, and absolutely the black belt does the same thing. It is a reminder of who I am, what do I represent, how should I treat others. As much as I have my family support and the support of my coaches and teammates, rock bottom is very lonely. And so when you're at rock bottom, you have no choice but to rely on Allah and Deen. And so if I didn't have Allah, if I didn't have my Deen, my faith to fall back on, I would have quit a long time ago. Nationals 2018, it's the finals. I fought this opponent before. She has beat me all 5 times that we have fought together. This was probably one of my worst losses. She knocked me out in the first 30 seconds. And after that day, I told myself, I'm never doing Taekwondo ever again. I will never put myself through this. This is the year where Ramadan was in the summer. Nationals is always in the summer. And throughout the entire Ramadan, we trained right before iftar and right before sahur. As a fighter, as a competitor, I am pretty short. I am 5'2". Because of that, I cut a lot of weight, so it would lessen my height disadvantage. So I would cut somewhere from 15 to 18 pounds every competition. And so fasting and breaking my fast with blueberries, chicken breast, no spice, no sodium, all the sacrifices, and then going to nationals, making it to the finals, and losing in the first 30 seconds of my final match was difficult. It became like almost identity crisis. I've spent my whole life doing Taekwondo and I'm still not there. And I'm training so hard for what? Just to get my butt whooped? I did quit. I stopped doing Taekwondo, but after that 2-month period, I realized that Allah put me in this position for a reason. I didn't go through all these little wins and losses and experiences just to stop now. I'm going to make it no matter what it takes. And alhamdulillah, in 2021, I became the first hijabi Muslim woman on the USA National team. Alhamdulillah, it was one of the sweetest moments of my life. I think my faith made me a better athlete and a better fighter, and I think fighting made me a much better Muslim. It was the belief in dua, Allah promises us He listens to our duas. Never doubt that He's listening, never doubt that He's closer to us in our jugular vein. Those kind of affirmations and beliefs were reinforced when I needed it most. So I still continue to train. I compete locally, but my goals have slowly transitioned into creating a space for women and specifically Muslim women. I've been through a few coaches. I'm really grateful for them. They're all wonderful, but they were 90% of the time male coaches. And there wasn't always that 100% level of comfort, especially training, working out rigorously, cutting weight, talking about losing 20 pounds in 1 month just to make my weight class. And so because of that, I decided it's my responsibility to create this space. So in 2021, I started Subhana's Fight Club. Not only do I want to create strong athletes, strong competitors, I want each individual to leave my class believing in themselves more than they did when they walked in. Each person has a talent within them. For anyone who knows me, who comes to my classes, seminars, I want you to pursue what makes you special. You wouldn't be who you are without these struggles, without the difficulties. So I would tell everyone, it's not about motivation, it's not about inspiration, it's about discipline and believing in yourself even when things get difficult. Growth is within the pain. Growth is within the struggle. If I didn't have any of the struggles or pains or obstacles in my experiences in competitive Taekwondo, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Embrace the discomfort zone, because that's when real growth is. It's not fun, it's not nice, but that is where growth happens. It's not normal to see Muslim women pursuing different kinds of fields, different kind of arts, different kind of sports. You will hear different voices, you will hear different comments about why you shouldn't do it. You have to ignore those voices. And sometimes those voices will be in your own head. Initially, when I thought of the idea of Subhana's Fight Club, I was very hesitant. I was like, what is the community gonna think? Is this club ever going to grow? People will feel very nervous coming into something like this when it's so uncommon. If it wasn't for my husband, Hamza, telling me, this is very much needed in the community, you have to do this. He thought of the name Subhana's Fight Club, SFC. He created the logo and helped me with the branding. So if it wasn't for his belief in me and belief in this vision, wouldn't be able to do it. Pursuing world-class Taekwondo, pursuing world-class athleticism took a lot of sacrifice. It took a lot of sacrifice, not only from my family, but now from my husband. And so, yes, the balance between career, the balance between Taekwondo, the balance between my business and home is definitely a challenge. I don't ever encourage anyone to pursue their goals at the expense of their family responsibilities. I don't encourage anyone to do whatever you want, be who you want to be at the expense of being a good daughter, a good wife, a good friend, a good sister. Yes, it takes sacrifices, but it's also important to remember that I remind myself to make time for those who are there for me, because I wouldn't be here without them.